It might sound backwards, but your relationship may get better if you start apologizing less, not more. Not because apologies are bad, but because a lot of couples use "I'm sorry" as a blanket catch-all statement, used to dodge blame, to shut down criticism, or to coddle their partners instead of actually connecting with them. And if you've been on the receiving end of a partner who apologizes way too much, you're not crazy for thinking your sorries don't mean anything anymore. Because the phrase has been overused and lost its meaning. And both of you have lost the opportunity to actually connect over something that could have been really meaningful. These hard conversations are where you actually learn what it means to be truly sorry, or what forgiveness actually means. They're actually both selfish decisions that should be done for yourself and not for someone else. My name is Mike Shahade, and welcome to your brain. Before I get into the importance of a selfish apology, I want to explain why the healthiest couples aren't the ones who never fight. They're the ones who do. They get annoyed, they get hurt, but they also repair. And their relationship grows stronger and more beautiful because of it. There's an art form in Japan called Kintsugi. When a piece of pottery cracks, it's not thrown away. The cracks aren't hidden with invisible glue. Instead, it's repaired with gold. The evolution of the piece is highlighted and celebrated. In your relationships, the conflicts are these cracks, and most try to use cheap "I'm sorries" to hide the cracks and move on. But a real repair takes being intentional about the crack and highlighting what was learned from it. That takes accountability, and to be accountable is to be vulnerable. That's why so many fail to do it. The problem I see a lot of the time is that people are viewing the apologies as "I'm admitting something is wrong with me." You're not seeing it as "I made a mistake," you're seeing it as "I am the mistake." When your partner is hurt, your brain doesn't just register that as feedback about your actions, it registers it as a threat to your identity, that you aren't a good partner, or that you aren't a good person maybe. And when that happens, your body's kicking in to fight or flight. Your chest starts to tighten, your thoughts start to race, and your brain starts searching for an exit. Not an exit for the problem, an exit from feeling at fault. So you start apologizing to manage your anxieties rather than repairing their hurt. And this is where I mean a selfish apology. An effective apology is not self-centered. It's owning the actions that triggered the conflict and working towards a better version of yourself. An apology should not be just used to stop someone from being angry at you, rather an opportunity for self-reflection and growth. If you don't approach apologies this way, you're gonna often over-apologize and your partner is gonna lose trust in your apologies. Then before long, you're gonna find yourself in a hole of resentment that's just so much harder to dig out of. If your motive isn't for yourself, your apologies usually fall into one of these traps. The ego barrier. This is when you apologize to calm your anxieties, not repair their hurt. It might sound something like, "I'm sorry, okay? Can we just move on?" Or maybe, yes, I'm a terrible person. Happy now?" It's an attempt to escape the feelings of being wrong. Your partner feels like you're managing the situation rather than owning the impact. How about the intention trap? This is when you focus on what was meant instead of how it landed. "That's not what I meant," or "You took it the wrong way." You're defending your character before considering your partner's emotions. In repairs, impact matters more than intent. Otherwise, you'll fall into debating reality instead of actually caring about the wound created. And this is where couples get stuck into scorekeeping. "No, you did this. Yeah, but you did that." And suddenly, the original point is forgotten, along with the chance to actually grow from it. Or how about the "if" apology? This is where you're apologizing for their feelings and not your behavior. "I'm sorry if you're upset," or "I'm sorry if that bothered you." Again, you're putting the focus on their reactions rather than your behaviors. And then there's the over-apologizers. The over-apologizing or self-deprecation. You're putting the emotional burden on your partner to attend to you when they're the ones that were initially hurt. See, the trick to an effective apology isn't repeating it or being louder with it, it's actually being genuine and clear about it. An effective apology has 3 parts, and actually one prerequisite before even starting. First and foremost, are you actually sorry? Why apologize if you're not? Think to yourself if there is a piece of your partner's perspective you can understand and validate. And in that, what's a piece about yourself that you want to improve? This is how it becomes a selfish apology. If not, you're not ready to apologize. You're just saying whatever it takes to moderate their emotions. So get curious. The Gamins over here have a really good exercise for this called the dreams within conflict. In a previous video, I spoke about how the thing you're fighting about is usually just a symptom of a deeper need, and this exercise helps you explore that deeper need. Position yourself here as a listener. That means don't try to solve the problem. Work to understand your partner's perspective by asking questions like, why is this so important to you? What does this remind you of? What do you need from me right now? As you go through this, you'll start to see what dream the situation is actually hurting with your partner. Check the description for the full resource of the Gottman's Dream Within Conflicts. The apologies that flip the script. Apologizing but making your partner the problem of it. Turning it into a counterattack. I'm sorry, but you started it. Or, I'm sorry, but you were being ridiculous. Here's a really good rule I want you to consider. But usually means ignore what I just said before it, because this is how I actually feel. Next, we can go to the 3 parts of effective apology. With the dream within conflict done and understanding what deeper hurt appeared for your partner, you can actually proceed to appropriate apology. And there are 3 parts to this. First and foremost is accountability. No ifs, no buts. Be direct and be clear. I'm sorry, I did X. Whatever behavior you recognize as something you want to do better in the future. Now, in my opinion, the fun part. Show your partner you actually heard them. Express a reflection of what they were feeling in that moment. Bonus points if you can actually offer them an emotion they didn't already express. So, I'm sorry for X. I understand that it made you feel Y. Lastly, talk is cheap, right? So what would actually be done differently in the future? Again, this is why apologies need to be selfish. Because if this is not an actual behavior you want to change in the future, you're not gonna change it. Are you gonna put an alarm on your phone to remember? Are you gonna focus about being more intentional about asking for a break when you start to get frustrated? Remember, this is for you. How do you personally want to improve here? This is so important because if you apologize and keep doing the same behavior, your partner's gonna learn not to believe your apologies. And can you blame them for that? So let's put this all together now. With one of the more mundane topics I see escalating to massive arguments, the trash. You forgot to take it out. Again, your partner might be visibly angry and start to approach you in a very harsh way. You recognize your instinct is to make an excuse or get frustrated right back at them. Why are we making this into a fight? Why do you make everything into such a big deal? But since you watched this video, you're able to recognize that this is actually your own defensiveness coming through. So you're able to pause, you slow down, and you take accountability. I'm sorry that I forgot to take out the trash. I can imagine how irritating it is to feel like you have to remind me to do everything. I'll do better by not relying on myself to remember, but rather make it a part of my routines at night. Now, forgiveness. This is a tricky part because you can give the world's best apology and the other person still might not forgive you. And honestly, if the whole goal is to be forgiven, you miss the point of this video. Just like how your apology should be selfish, so should your choice to forgive. Because forgiveness is not done for other people. It shouldn't be done out of pressure or done to keep the peace or to make other people more comfortable. That's how it often turns into resentment. That shows up later as, I forgave you about the trash and you still forgot again. Which usually means I suppressed my anger. I didn't resolve it and I was waiting for you to repeat the same mistake. Forgiveness does not erase accountability. Harm still matters. Repairs still matter. And patterns still matter. Forgiveness does not remove boundaries. You can forgive someone and still say, I won't accept this behavior again. Forgiveness is not the same as trust. Trust is rebuilt through consistency and observable change over time. Forgiveness is a choice, made when and if your nervous system is ready. And reconnection, that's optional. Sometimes forgiveness means letting go of resentment without restoring access. So I'm curious, which of the failed apologies have you found yourself falling for time and time again? Let me know below. My name's Mike Shahade, and I'm happy you're here. See ya.